Hi everyone, my name is Mads, welcome back to my channel and welcome to this video where I'm going to be choosing my April TBR using Dart Attack. Those of you who've been around for a minute or a few years will recognise this. This is a dartboard I use to choose prompts to help me decide what I'm going to read in a month. I'm saying this is for April, this may be for April and May, this may be for spring. We'll see how we go is a little bit of the deal at the moment. I've not been using TBRs so far this year and I've been really enjoying the freedom to just pick up what I feel like. I've had a bit of a rocky start to the year with reading. However, in the last week or so, I have hauled the most inordinate number of books that I am so excited for, and I'm completely overwhelmed by choice. I have all the books I had beforehand that I was excited to read, and now I have about 30 new books I'm ridiculously excited to read. And I am finding myself staring at my shelves, trying to work out what I'm going to read after my current read, and I have no idea. I want to pick up literally everything right now. So I'm thinking a couple prompts, a bit of structure might help me out now. So I will link the first ever video from many years ago for those that want the rules explained in more detail, though they have changed a bit over time. But very basically, I'm going to put a load of prompts up on this board, throw darts at it. Whatever prompt I hit, I will select a book throughout the month to read that fits that prompt. I will not dictate what book that is right now. I will probably talk you through a few options that would fit that prompt that are looking interesting to me, but very much have the flexibility to choose whatever book I want throughout the month. There are also no rewards, no punishments, no wins, no losses. This is a bit of guidance, a bit of fun, and also a nice way to talk about some of the books I'm really excited to read at the moment, and a good way to hold me to account on hitting some of my reading goals. So I have lots of prompts for read a series or read a book you hauled a long time ago, instead of me perpetuating my bad habits of just reading the last book that came into my house and forgetting anything that arrived before then. As I've not played in a good few months, we're going to do a completely fresh board, so I'm very, very quickly going to pick 10 prompts and get them up, and then we're going to start throwing. You're going to have to trust I've shuffled and selected these at random because you don't want to see that happen, so I'm just going to show you what prompt is selected for each one. And we will start at the top, which you can't quite see, with pink and then go clockwise. The prompt for pink: red, dark orange, light orange, yellow, light green, dark green, light blue, dark blue, and purple. So the prompts are up on the board. We are going to start with, I think, 6 throws. If I land on the same colour twice within the game, then I will add throws. That may end badly, but I read roughly 6 to 10 books a month, question mark, so it seems like about the right amount, and it's always a bit of fun. And then the only thing I've not mentioned is the bullseye. I highly, highly doubt we'll hit it, but if we do, I'm going to just consider it a mood read, unless I don't want to, and I'll throw again and get myself a prompt. So with that, let's get into it. Okay, first throw of hopefully 6. Let's see what we get. We missed. That's a good start. As with all the other things, if I miss twice, it's like hitting a colour twice and I have to add throws, so strong start. Okay, throw 1, take 2. I don't know if you saw the camera in the background completely full, but I'm slightly concerned for my phone's life and well-being. So we're gonna hope that doesn't happen again, but let's see how this goes. I'm very out of practice. I missed again, which means we're doing 7 throws. And we haven't even really started. Okay. Is this Dart Attack's way of being like, you've ignored me for 6 months? Haha, I don't know. Anyway, why do I do this to myself? I love it. I cannot stress enough, I love it. But every time I do this, I remember the chaos. Let's try throw 1, take 3. But if I miss any more this game, then it doesn't add anything, so that helps. Okay. That isn't my fault. If it skittles off the board, that is not my fault. But I didn't get a clear enough shot of where it hit before it did that. So we're gonna try this one more time. It's down the back of the sofa. I'm not sure why they're not sticking today, but this is very annoying. I had this before, but when I had paper over it, it should work like this. Okay, come on. I'm claiming that as light green. That's fine, light green it is. Light green is new author. Okay, so new author is probably both one of the best and worst prompts I could have got, because so many of the books I've just told are by people I've never read from before, and that's so exciting and I want to read them, but it doesn't help me narrow down too much. So I've got 4 options here, which are like some top priorities, but we will see. First is The Prospects by Katie Hoffman. This is a queer romance which I'd never read from Katie Hoffman before, and this was sent to me by the publisher and releases in April, so I really need to get it read in April. And it's like a sports romance, rivals to lovers, trans man, queer romance. It's going to be great times. Another arc I have, also from Little Brown, is, what's it called? How to Leave the House. And this follows a 23-year-old who orders a sex toy, and then it doesn't get delivered to them, it gets delivered elsewhere, so I think they go on a bit of a quest because they can't feel settled until they work out where the hell it went. The event I was at where I collected this, which was yesterday, they basically just kept saying it's really weird but really great, and I was like, you know what, you've got me sold. This comes out in May, so we need to get to that one as well. And then we have In Defense of the Act by Effie Black. I don't know how to describe this one, but it sounds like a really interesting queer lit fic. It's just been nominated for the Women's Prize, so I don't really know what it's about. You know, it says, Jessica Miller is fascinated by the somewhat perplexing tendency of humans to end their own lives, but she secretly believes such act may not be bad after all, or at least she did. I don't know, but it sounds interesting, and I read the first chapter the other day, and I'm very intrigued by it. And then I have Grow Where They Fall, which is a recent release by a queer man, and basically follows this black man growing up in my local area, and sort of his life over about 30 years. And it sounds really, really interesting, and I met him at an event. So all of these sound amazing. This is a selection of about 20 that I could read, and it may not be any of these, but I'm very excited for all of these. So we'll go with one of these for new author, maybe. And replacing that prompt, we are going to go with somewhere in the middle, this one. Okay, throw number 2, which hopefully gives me something slightly more specific, because otherwise the decision making is not going to be helped. Let's see. Let's also hope it sticks to the board. Oh, that was beautiful. Purple. Purple is, ooh, a short read. I just realised I hadn't turned my secondary camera on to see that throw. You're going to have to trust me that it hit purple and landed beautifully, because I have no evidence, and I do apologise. But short read. In some ways this also doesn't help that much, because almost all the books I picked up recently are pretty short, like under 300 pages, which is generally where I consider a short read. So we've gone really, really short for the options here. Firstly, we have Couplets by Maggie Milner. This is a little queer story told entirely in rhyming couplets, which is such an intriguing concept to me. And it's super, super teeny tiny, so, you know, I have to know about that. I then have a little non-fiction, All the Violet Tiaras by Jean from BookTube, which is queering the Greek myths, talking about the queerness of Greek myths. I have a few of these little tiny non-fictions. They're about 80 pages, 100 pages, 75. So that might be a fun one to sit down and learn a bit. And then I have a couple of manga. I have 10 Dance Volume 7, which I really need to read because I read the other 6 volumes in February, and it's the end of March and I've not read Volume 7 yet, which is silly. And then The Girl from the Other Side, I want to start this series. So manga are always super, super quick reads. They take me like 40 minutes. So lots of teeny tiny options for that. Okay, replacing the prompt on purple, we are going with this one. I'm aware this isn't actually evidence, but this is me replacing the prompt. That is where it landed. I promise. Okay, throw number 3. Out of 7. Let's go, let's see. It's very wonky again, but I don't care right now. Dark blue. It's hanging on by a thread, but it's dark blue. Dark blue is, what have we got? Ooh, Phone Ban. Okay, this is always a fun one. I won't pick specific books for this. It's gonna actually work very nicely potentially. Phone Ban is, I'm going to throw again, and basically the colours are going to correspond to numbers, and that is how many hours I have to turn my phone off and just read for. I will likely end up filming this as a video because it's always quite a fun little experiment. But yes, let's throw again and see how long I'm completely banning myself from my phone and trying to get some really good reading in. So number-wise, pink is 1, purple is 10, going around the board. Hopefully I'll do some fancy editing and you will not see that on the screen, but who knows? Let's see. I'm gonna go high if I can. I really shouldn't be allowed to do this. I shouldn't be allowed to do this. Okay. Trying again. This board is out to get me today. Okay. I actually just don't know what to do when this happens. Like, what am I supposed to do? Once more. Okay. This is taking the mick now. I have 3 more darts. If any of these stick, we'll go with that. If not, we'll see if anything seems to land somewhere before sliding and we'll see what happens. This is so infuriating, but let's try this again. No. Oh, okay. Is that 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? 6 hours. I'm content with that. A 6-hour phone ban will be happening at some point in April or whenever I extend this out to. And I'll see how much I can read in 6 hours. That's probably 1 large book or 2 smaller books. We'll see. Okay, replacing the prompt on dark blue. We are going with, if I don't drop absolutely everything, this one. Okay, throw 4 of 7, but now is when we can start being high risk for landing on colours a second time. So I just kind of need to go for that side of the board, but I don't have much choice considering the fact that these all fall off, but let's see. Ooh, dark orange, perfect. Dark orange is, ooh, okay. A book that BookTube loves. Okay, a book that BookTube loves was actually remarkably difficult. I think I watch a lot of very disparate booktubers that read very different kinds of books, so there's not been anything recently that's like overwhelmingly everyone's obsessed with it. Also, I recently have been reading a lot more literary fiction, and if you know booktubers that read literary fiction, please recommend them down in the comments, because I feel like I watch a lot of people that read fantasy, romance, thrillers, and less literary fiction. So it's harder finding recommendations at the moment. Not that I don't love fantasy and romance especially, but I don't want to start another fantasy series right now. So I say that, one of my options is that. So what have I got? Start with the fantasy. Feybound by Sarah El-Arifi. Everyone's been talking about this recently. It's definitely one I want to read. Could the Siren not? The Joy of Living in Central London. This is definitely one I've been wanting to read. This is the gorgeous, gorgeous Fairy Loot edition. Now's as good a time as any, even though I don't really want to start more fantasy series, but I want to say this is a duology, so maybe not too bad. All I know about it is it's sapphic. That's literally my entire knowledge. It's sapphic, it's fantasy, and people have been liking it. I don't really need to know anything else if I'm honest. Next, we have Reckless by Elsie Silver. This is the 4th book in the Chestnut Springs series, which I've been working my way through since last year. This is a generally very well-loved series, so I feel like it could definitely count, and I have really been meaning to make progress on this, so now may be the time. I then have it's an ARC copy of Limelight by Daisy Buchanan, which I've suddenly been hearing about Insatiable and Limelight by Daisy Buchanan quite a lot, having never heard of them when I got this copy, so I don't really know what it's about. I want to say this is about like a cam girl, but that might be entirely wrong. It says it's an unconventional love story. It doesn't have a blurb on it, so I don't know, but it sounds very interesting. I remember when I looked it up before, it sounded really good, so maybe something a bit different. Or we're going old school and we're going I Wish You All the Best by Mason Diva. I've been really, really wanting to reread this recently, so now could be the time, especially with the movie. I know I can't watch the movie because it just seems to be doing the film festival circuit in America, but I want to, and therefore I want to have reread this before then. Those are 4 completely disparate options in very different genres, and it might be one of these. Something else might suddenly get really big in the next month and I might read that. Who knows? And replacing that prompt, we are going to have this one. Okay, throw number 5. Let's see, I don't trust this board just at all, but let's see what happens. That was all me. Throw 5, take 2. Jesus, why? I just shouldn't be allowed to do this. Take 3, come on. I'm claiming that as yellow. It hit before it fell, and if I do this, it touches. Yellow is hauled over a year ago. There was an obvious answer for this prompt, hauled over a year ago. I'm just mildly resistant to do it. And that is A Restless Truth by Freya Marske. I have read Marvelous Light twice and I love it. And then I started this in January and I got 50 pages in. And then I put it down and I've now been procrastinating it for multiple months and I just need to read it. I will enjoy this. I was enjoying it. I don't know why I put it down. I've had this since it came out. So, this is the obvious choice. Will I do it? I don't know. But it's the obvious choice, especially as a lot of the books I want to read right now are super recently hauled books. This might be the good option for an older one, but we'll see. Okay, replacing that prompt, we are going with... Oh my gosh, I can't get one. This one? Okay, throw number 6. The risk of repeating colours is so high, but I'm going to cap it at 8, so if it happens again, it happens again. Let's see. Throw number 6. Light orange. I think that's safe. It's hanging on by a thread, but it's safe. Light orange is... odd page number. So this one's pretty self-explanatory and pretty simple. A book that has an odd number of pages. I normally do this for the main story, don't tend to include acknowledgements and stuff because that's how I count pages in my books in general. First 2 options, A Restless Truth and How to Leave the House. I've already spoken about these, we know what they're about. They both have odd page counts. Less of them did than I expected. But then an extra one is Pony Boy by Elliot Duncan. This is queer and weird. Is pretty much what I know about it. It's a transmasculine character, Pony Boy, unravels as things are happening, messy love triangles with a lesbian painter who can't see herself being with someone trans, Tony, a childhood friend who can actually see Pony Boy for who he is, and then I think Pony Boy starts following people to different countries and things go a bit wild, and it says, an evocative debut novel of art and addiction, self-destruction and reconstruction. It thrums with joy, aches and pains of becoming who you are meant to be. This was a complete random pickup. It caught my eye. I mean, just look at the weirdness of that. So that's also an odd number of pages and a short little one. So maybe one of those, maybe something different. And replacing the prompt on light orange, we are going with this one. I think it might need to be that way up. Okay. Throw number 7. Let's go. We are landing on a miss. Okay, we're going to ignore that. That never happened. We are landing on... I shouldn't be trusted. I am standing closer than ever to this board and doing worse than ever, and it's actually borderline impressive at this point. Come on, just anything. Anything. We're not even going to talk about it. We're just going to go again. We're not going to talk about it, we're just going to go again. It's a repeat. It's also on 2 colours, but I think... Okay, it's closer to dark orange. We'll do that and then we'll do another throw. Oh god. Series! This could be a new series, it doesn't specify, but that is so not what I'm trying to do right now. So, Restless Truth or 10 Dance Volume 7 or Spy Family Volume 8 or... any of the other 10,000 series I'm in the middle of. Though, I think this is the only one that I'm in the middle of and like ready to continue with. So I've got quite a few series where I want to reread the first few books and I could count that for this. It's still making progress in the series. The other option is Iron Gold by Pierce Brown, which I don't own, but my current read is Morning Star, which I'm halfway through. So we'll hopefully finish this before April. If I do and I want to continue, Iron Gold could also work. Kind of a new series, but kind of continuing a series. Lots of options. This is one of my goals for the year, is to finish at least 3 series. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Somehow. Lots of options, but we need to do one more throw, so we're just gonna get that done, and then we'll wrap this up. Okay, so replacing the prompt for the final time, so I am capping it at 8, so wherever I land will be safe. We are going with this one. Okay, throw 7. All it needs to do is stick on a colour. That isn't too much to ask, surely. Come on. Pink, and it's safe just for fun. What have we got? We have got... Ooh, okay. An intimidating read. So, 1 minute, I'm gonna go grab something. I cannot stress enough how much I'm not going to read this book in April, but for the sake of accountability, the most intimidating book I have on my shelves is A Day of Fool and Night by Samantha Shannon. I have an arc of this. This book came out over a year ago. I still haven't read it. I was so excited to get my early copy of this. and I still haven't read it because I'm terrified of it. The chances of reading this in April are slim to none, considering I'm out of the country for almost 2 weeks, and I will not be taking this across the Atlantic Ocean. But in theory, I should read this, but I won't. So what are the other options? One is definitely Iron Gold, the next book in the Red Rising series. That's intimidating as hell. Another, Shuggy Bane by Douglas Stewart. This is one I've recently got hold of, having meant to get it for ages. And it's a very sad, queer book. And it won the Booker Prize a few years ago. So it's meant to be good. Everyone loves it. But I'm very intimidated by it because it's, you know, proper, you know, award-winning lit fic, and I have a small brain. Maybe that. We'll see. Okay, I'm gonna wrap this up and call it a day because we have been here for too long. Okay, we made it. We're done. 8 prompts later, which might be a bit ambitious for 1 month, but we'll see how we go. What have we got to work with throughout April? I need to read a book by a new author, a short read. I need to read a book that BookTube loves, read a book that I hauled over a year ago, a book with an odd page number, a book from a series, and an intimidating book. And I also need to, at some point, sit down and read for 6 hours with my phone turned off, nowhere near me. Do we think I can do it? Do we think I can do it all in April when I'm away for 2 weeks? I don't know, but we're gonna give it a good try. As I mentioned, I have got a lot of very exciting books recently. Hopefully there will be a haul incoming in the near future. I haven't done a haul in literal years, but I'm just so excited to tell you about all of the books that I've got recently that it may be necessary. And we've got some fun other plans, but that is Dart Attack. Will it be back in May? Will it be back in June? Will it be back this year? Who knows? But as always, I've loved doing it, and I'm very excited to have a little bit of structure and some suggestions, and also having my hand forced a little bit to maybe read the books I was going to put off because I had new and exciting ones. But that is it for today. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. Comment down below what your TBR for April is looking like. If there's any of these books I've mentioned you think I should prioritise, definitely let me know. But if you don't have anything to say, just leave the dart emoji down below to let me know that you're here. Subscribe if you'd like to see more content from me. Hopefully it'll come a little bit more regularly, but I feel like I say that every time I make a video, so we will see what happens. But thanks so much for watching. Bye, and I'll see you in the next one.